Hey, what's going on, guys? Goose here, man, and got another video for. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that mumbo jumbo so you get notified when we go live again, do videos and whatnot. All right, so the Saints come in the record at 1-3, Seattle 2-2, and Saints have been a very inconsistent football team this year with penalties, turnovers. Offensive ineptitude. Just I just thought this team would be a little more. I thought this team would be a lot better offensively than it was than what it is right now. From what we had coming back with Michael Thomas, Olave, Jarvis Landry, Kamara, Winston, and I know some of those guys have been hurt, but still the offense is still. I got a hang it. Offense is still not hitting on all cylinders. And there's a lot of reasons for that. One, no, Jameis Winston's been hurt. He has been hurt. It has affected him. His throwing motion, his mobility. Pete Carmichael is not a very good play caller. There's some questionable play calls that Pete Carmichael has made. First and 10, Brennan and Taysom Hill to run the ball. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. If you want to do it on 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, okay. But 1st and 10, running Taysom Hill, I don't know. It just it doesn't seem to work well for me in my mind. But what do I know? I'm not a head. I'm not a coach. I don't pretend to be one. But I just think that the Saints can have some better play calls during the games. I mean, we get down every freaking game. Every game we get down. We're down halftime this game. I mean, every game we're down. Every single game we're down. We're slow starters. We're a very, very slow starting football team. I think we've only scored like 2 touchdowns in the first half for the first 4 games. We scored a touchdown last week, and then we scored a touchdown against Atlanta the first week. We've only scored 2 touchdowns in the first half in 4 games. That's just a recipe for disaster. And when we get behind, it's just and turnovers. Turnovers were a problem this past week against Minnesota. Had a fumble before halftime that led to 3 points, and Deontay Hardy fumbled a punt that led to 3 points. That's 6 points. That's 6 points. Saints lost by 3. So do the math. It's kind of hard to say would the game have played out the same if those things didn't happen. You really can't say that. But anyway, the Saints did lose by 3, and they gave up 6 points in the turnover. So Seattle's come in. Seattle scored 48 points last week. They scored 48 points against the Lions last week. Seattle they've played much better than I thought. Than they would have this year. Then they beat the Broncos in the first week. And they lost to San Francisco, and they lost to Atlanta. Atlanta looks like a better team than what people thought. Also, everybody thought Atlanta was going to stink. But it looks like Atlanta is going to be a little better than people thought. And Seattle is another team that they're better than what people thought because they scored 48 points last week. The Saints, I don't know. The Saints won't score 48 points in one game. Not right now with this awesome play calling. Not right now with the just not going to happen. The play calling. The play calling is my biggest gripe with the Saints. But Pete Carmichael, it's just been pretty pathetic. In my mind, whatever you want to call it. Everybody knows Sean Payton was the offensive coordinator when he was here. I mean, Pete Carmichael just had the title offensive coordinator. Everybody knows that. If you didn't know that, you should know it now. That Pete Carmichael, he didn't want the job. Pete Carmichael did not want the job. He had to be talked into it. I wish he wasn't talked into it. I wish they would have went and found somebody else. A young, innovative offensive coordinator that can get the ball to playmakers. That's what needs to happen. Pete Carmichael, he probably won't be the OC next year, and it'll be a good deal for the Saints. Well, I mean, what do the Saints have to do to win this football game? Well, one, they got to quit the idiotic penalties. I know there's been some bad penalties. There's bad penalties in every football game. To watch the NFL, it's not just the Saints that get bad penalties called against them. Turnovers. We cannot constantly turn the ball over 2, 3, 4 times a game. Can't happen. We're not going to win. You're not going to win in the NFL doing that. And we have to score in the first half. We have to score more than 7 points in the first half. I mean, we got to score at least like 17. Let's score 17 points in the first half. You know, let's give our defense a break. You know, let's and our defense is still our strong point in our football team, but we constantly put that behind the eight ball because we get behind. So if we do those things Sunday, we might walk out with a win. But I just don't see things changing. How are things going to change? They haven't changed in the first 4 weeks. The Saints have not made any kind of adjustments offensively in the play calling, and I just don't think it's going to happen this Sunday. So prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Pete Carmichael. Prove me wrong. As for the quarterback situation, I have no problem with Jameis Winston. As long as he's healthy, I have no problem with him being the starting quarterback. I think he has more upside than Andy Dalton. Call me crazy, whatever. But when Jameis Winston's healthy, I like him better than Andy Dalton. But if Jameis Winston has those vertebrae in his back that are broke and he has a foot problem, play Andy Dalton until he gets healthy. That's just all I ask. That's all I ask. Have a good one. Who dat? Maybe we'll get a win. Maybe we won't. We'll see Sunday. Have a good one.